Good evening, Bhante and all Kalyana Mitra Sukhi Hontu. I'm Aliana and welcome to Sutta Discussion Day 83 by Bhante Dr. Ganggodawila Chandima. This is the second class of Pattakamma Sutta with the topic Lay People's Second Wish. Pattakamma Sutta is the seventh sutta from the total of 10 suttas that have been chosen by Bhante Chandima for this sutta discussion. In previous classes, Bhante has discussed about Manggala Sutta, Ratana Sutta, Metta Sutta, Sigalowada Sutta, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, and Sabbasawa Sutta, which Bhante has elaborated those sutta in depth. For those who have missed our previous classes, please check on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amapadana Clan Facebook page and YouTube channel. We have uploaded the previous 82 classes there. We are always welcoming newcomers, therefore whoever that wish to join the class via Zoom where you can engage directly with Bhante can contact us on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amapadana Clan's Facebook Messenger or register through the QR code that has been shared in our recent flyer regarding to the Sutta discussion of the class on our Facebook account. Our speaker, Bhante Dr. Ganggodawila Chandima, is the Associate Editor of the Journal of International Buddhist Studies, or JIBS, which is published by the Buddhist Research Institute of Mahachulalongkorn Raja Vidyalaya University in Thailand. He was previously a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society, or CSRS, at the University of Victoria, Canada. Bhante Dr. Chandima was also a Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada from year 2012 till 2016. Bhante is currently the Senior Advisor to Patisota, a virtual Dhamma organization that hosts a weekly online Pali reading class, Sutta discussion, Dhamma talks, and a variety of other Dhamma activities. His Dhamma works can be accessed at www.patisota.blogspot.com. Without further ado, we welcome once again Bhante and thank you very much for the wonderful guidance and teaching. Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Ali. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Ti-Ratana discussion. So today we will be studying the second wish of the lay people. So there are 4 wishes that we understand that lay people wish in their own way. We had a sort of understanding about the 4 wishes last Friday, but did not learn a lot about them individually. So today will be the day to learn the second wish. So episode is 83. All right, so let's get started by paying respect to the 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo thasse bhagavatu arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo thasse bhagavatu arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo thasse bhagavatu arahato samma sambuddhase. Right, so today we have Diana, Lim, Kim, Margaret, Melinda. We have Wong. Wong's first day today. Sadhris, Nine, Chen, Chan, Laili, Kelvin, Tisilim, Shirley, Corina, Jacqueline. Yeah, welcome everybody. So probably some others might join. All right, so let's get to the sutta first. Okay. So it is, this is the sutta. So we have done a short introduction for these phrases. And yeah, this will be the last. And the second wish here is this one. Bhoge ladha sahadhamme yasu me agachatu saha jnatihi saha upajjayehi ayang dutiyo dhammo itto kanto manapu dulabhu lokasmi. Right, so probably we can ask some of you to read. Would anybody like to read this phrase here? Anybody? Just learn some Pali. It's Kim. Yeah, please go ahead.
One day I try.
Yes.
Because just now I didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
Boge lada sahat damena yasome aga chato saha na nyatihi saha uparjayehiti ayang dutiyo damo ito kanto manapo dulabo lokasmin.
Here, what do you say? Agachatu saha. So,
Agachatu saha nyatihi.
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 Interesting. Melinda, would you like to read too?
Okay, the
Yes.
same paragraph.
Same.
Okay. Boge dada sahadamena yaso me agachatu saha nyatihi saha upajayehiti ayam dutiyo damo ito kanto manapo dulabo lokasmin.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhante.
There are some new words for some. Does anybody else would like to read too?
Bhante,
maybe.
I'll try.
Oh, you want to try too? Yes. Good.
Poke lata sata tammena yasumi acak cantu saha nahi saha upajjayehi ayang tutiyo tammo ito kanto manapo tulapho lokasmin.
Great. Yeah, you made it. Okay. So the idea here is that when somebody is fulfilling this part, the first wish is, may I gain finances or may I gain money in righteous ways. Bhoga means wealth. May I gain wealth. And what do you call upajantu? May I create sahadhammena. So may bhoga. May I make wealth in righteous ways. So having created money or having made wealth in righteous ways, then the next thing that will arise in any layperson's mind is the good reputation. Here you can understand yaso. The Pali word yaso means good reputation. You could say fame. Right? Yaso me agachat. Saha jnatihi saha upajjai. A good reputation or fame about you and your relatives and your teachers. Are you normally defensive about about the reputation of you, your relatives, and your teachers? You may be mostly. Yeah. So you don't like somebody bad mouth about you and bad mouth about your family members, bad mouth about preceptors, or you want to join somebody you want to bad mouth. your people, oh, friends and whoever. But normally, you would like, according to the second wish, somebody or people to make compliments about you and your people. Now here the Pali word, what do you call, yaso is very interesting. Has anybody ever found out this term anywhere in your reading? Yaso, Y-A-S-O.
Yasser is one of the early lay disciples.
That was a name,
Yes, name.
proper name given. Yeah, Yaso. Any other places? Yasa, Y-A-S-A. Going beyond the name of somebody.
The eight worldly winds.
There are 8 things that come to us time to time.
Yeah.
Yasa is one of them.
Yes.
What are they? Labu, alabu,
Oh,
aiso, yaso, ninda, prasansa, sukha, dukkha. Labha means gain. Alabha means loss. Then labu, alabu, aiso, yaso. Aiso means
fame.
aiso. Aiso is the opposite of yaso.
Yeah.
That means bad reputation.
That,
Yaso, good reputation. Ninda, prasansa. Ninda means blame. Prasansa means compliment. Labu, alabu, aiso, yasocha, ninda, prasansa. Then sukha, dukkha. Sukha means happiness. Dukkha means unhappiness.
Unhappy.
So these 8 are always revolving around us. Right? They are revolving around our life, and we are revolving around. No, we are chasing after also those 8. Very interesting. Now, for example, now when you look at your experiences in your life, you might say, good time. Last year I had lots of this and that. You might probably reflect upon it. At the same time, people are going after these 8 in different ways. Are people going after gains? Yeah, always
Yes.
24-hour, 365, they are going after gains. They are also trying to make new ways to make gains. Marketing, profits, how to make more profits, how to make more dividends. They're always thinking about it. Then what about losses? Is anybody going after loss? But
No,
when you looking after gain, that means you have to expect losses too, because it's the other flip side of the coin. You're looking for profits, then definitely there are ancillary subsequent losses. What about good reputation? Are people going after good reputation? Of course, now we are understanding that here. Yes. Are people willing to see good, what do you call, reviews? Nowadays, reviews are like mattering to most of us. Let's say you have a company, 10 people going and then leaving bad comments about your company. On the next day, everybody else is going to see poor service, probably so and so forth, right? Now there are a lot of functions about comments, not like in olden days, right? Things are becoming more transparent, good ways or bad ways. What about ninda prasansa? Blames and I would say criticism and compliments. Are people going after criticism? Not exact, but people are going after compliments. So when you are going after compliments, you have to also expect some constructive, at the very least, some constructive criticism too, right? So the Buddha said, it is not that these are coming to us, but also we are going after them. So the sutta called Loka Vipatti Sutta in the Anguttara Nikaya clearly says that these 8 are coming to us and we are going after them, right? So now one of the conditions there is yasa. That means good reputation. Just because things are changing in our life, should we not expect a good reputation? What would you think? Things are changing all the time. Things have to change. We also have to change and accept the change. When you are going not to change and then to accept, maybe not to accept, things are going to really happen in very unexpected ways. So yasa has to understood within a changing world. All right, so it is one of the 8 greatly conditions. And there was a person also called yasa. What are the other places where you have found out yasa? In your reading? Did the Buddha tell us how to become a popular person?
No.
Did he teach us how to have a good name, how to keep you popular, to
Yes.
become a is it something that everybody is looking after in today's world?
Yes.
Everybody trying to become popular people?
Yes.
Most of them. Then I think it's a very valid thing to learn if Buddha had told like that. Yes, Buddha did tell us that there's a way how to become a popular person. We will see that. Where is it? In the Dhammapada. Let's see the stanza here.
To be virtuous.
See. Dhammapada, verse number 24. Uttana vato, satimato, suchikammassa, nisammakarino, sanyatassata, dhammajivino,
We can't
appamattassa.
see. We cannot see.
You cannot see?
No,
Let's see.
no. I think you didn't share the screen.
Should be okay now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, Dhammapada stanza number 24. You can see Uttana vato, satimato, suchikammassa, nisammakarino, sanyatassata, dhammajivino, appamattassa, yaso bivat. You can see it is yasa. How to create good reputation, maybe fame, a good name. There are a couple things one has to do. Uttana is number 1, satimato is number 2, suchikammassa is number 3, nisammakara number 4, sanyatassa number 5, dhammajivino number 6, appamattassa number 7. So 7 things you have to do. 7 things. Right? So you can see here, if a person is energetic, mindful, pure in his thought, word, and deed, and if he does everything with care and consideration, restrain his senses, earn his living according to the Dhamma, and is not unheedful, the fame and fortune of that mindful person steadily increase. All right, now what do you think? Did the Buddha tell us a way to become popular if you really want?
Yes.
Yes, there's a way. That's why we have to learn Buddhism from worldly matters and spiritual ways, actually. So now let's go back to the text here. Having gained wealth righteously, one thinks, may fame come to me and to my relatives and preceptors. This is the second wish rarely gained in the world. This is not even a wish, but also a very rare thing that somebody can have. Right? Upadhyaya, Jnati, Jnati means relatives. Upadhyaya means your teachers. So this could be in a way, your parents, in a way, your teachers, and everybody. Now, if you want to make the proper good kind of fame, the first thing you need is Uttana Vatu. Uttana Vatu. Uttana Vatu means
Energetic.
energetic. What does being energetic mean? There are people who have lots of energy every day. High energy. Is it that high energy or is it something else? How did the Buddha ask us to have what do you call energy? How do we understand it? If you have gone to a meditation retreat, the retreat the person, the conductor, should have told you how to balance out your energy. That means your energy has to be balanced out. How? Under which context? Now, when you go for a meditation retreat, normally they are teaching you how to practice in your own contemporary ways, samatha and vipassana. Either samatha or vipassana, maybe together. And when you are practicing samatha, what are they normally teaching you? They are telling you that there are 5 hindrances that you need to withdraw today, right? So you have to overcome them as much as you can. What are they?
Sensual desire, ill will, restlessness, remote, remoteness, and doubt.
Restlessness and
Doubt.
what about sloth and torpor?
Yeah, slow.
Now I'm talking about restlessness and sloth and torpor. That means that means they are two energy balances. There are two things that you have to work on in order to balance out your energy, especially in your meditation too. If you are too excited about the meditation, you have so much energy. Tonight I'm gonna become so and so. By the end of today, I'm gonna become so and so. Then you are too excited. Then you cannot practice any awareness because you are too excited. Right? So because if you are too much on energy, that will cause restlessness. Your mind will be restless. Have you found such people, restless people?
Yes,
Have you found yourself restless at a certain point?
yes,
Too excited, like a crash course, this and that. And what if you are not too much excited, but you don't have enough energy, virya? Then you will then struggle with tina and mitta. Tina and mitta. Tina means laziness of your thoughts, and mitta means laziness of your chetasikas. In Abhidhamma we say chetasikas, chettas and chetasikas, right? Laziness. That means you don't have enough energy. So these two are very important because these two are the polar ends of your energy. That means energy, a simple energy is not what you need in your practice and also in your life to become somebody who is going to be impactful. Have you seen any examples of the Buddha's time, those who either ran out of enough energy and who had lots of energy so that they could not do anything? Sometimes when you know a lot of Dhamma also, you cannot practice. Huh? Too many things come to your mind. Huh? I know this, I know this, I know that. You have not learned too many Dhammas. That means you might sometimes need to unlearn. Right? There's a idiomatic expression. The too much intellectual people cannot walk on the footbridge. They fall to the river. Why? They are thinking too much. How big is the stick? how much water is in the river, right? Finally, they fall to the river, right? That means too much knowledge is also a problem uh, in which not many people make that happen in their life, right? And the other thing is what you call lack of energy. So the Pali word for this is virya. So virya has to be balanced. So be careful, because if you have too much virya, it's a problem. It causes uddhacca to arise, restlessness to arise. If you have too less virya, that means you will not make any progress. But here, if somebody wants to become a popular person in the proper way, the Buddha said that person should have virya. Now, what are the impediments for virya in lay life? Have you seen people who are struggling to start off something good? They are initially struggling to start off. This is one kind of group in the society. And there are other people who start, but when the struggles, when the challenges come on their way, they are going to
Give up.
stop the journey. This is what happens to many people, right? When the challenges are coming, they drop out of the practice. I can't do this much, so I'm going to give it up. Right? Like some students in the first year of the university, they drop out. And then there are others, very probably less number of people who start off and then who encounter the challenges in the proper way, and they make it to the end of what it is. Arambadatu, Nikkamadatu, these are Pali words which the Buddha said. And there was one man who came, Brahmin, who came to the Buddha and then started blaming them. You know, you are talking about virya and you don't believe what it is. There's no virya. It's a Hindu Brahmin. So don't teach people that there is something called virya, because they have given everything to the God. Then he kept blaming the Buddha. The Buddha did not talk anything, because you can't argue with someone who does not have the what do you call
Wisdom.
minimum knowledge to understand something. So Buddha let him talk. Sometimes when we
Yeah.
let people to talk, the problem is going to be solved. So we have to let them talk.
Yeah, it's true.
You don't need to reply to them. Just let them talk.
Right.
So once he finished, then the Buddha said, now you are talking that there's no virya, no energy, but how much prepared are you today? Huh? From house itself, you have been planning to argue. You have been planning to talk to me like this. How much virya was there for you? And he understood. So we need virya, but virya has to be balanced out, both for the lay life and for the spiritual life. Uddhana vatu. Then the second thing that anybody who wants to who wants to have good reputation needs is sati mato. Sati mato means sati.
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness.
Sati mato. The general translation is mindfulness. We call it sati. But sati, the word sati means exactly this mindfulness. Now, what is going on is that people try to understand English concept in Pali. The Pali word sati does not mean mindfulness at all. Sati means awareness. Awareness can arise both from, in the English terms, mindfulness, because you are not always filling the mind. You are sometimes emptying the mind too, isn't it? Then, where do you relate that emptying the mind process in this word called mindfulness? Right? So we sometimes empty our akusala thoughts. And then what we are doing, we are replacing the vacuum of those unwholesome thoughts with wholesome thoughts.
Wholesome thought.
So filling and emptying, these two actions should be included. So you cannot simply say mindfulness. You look at it from English context, you could say, yeah, it's mindfulness. But Pali context does not only mean mindfulness. I would say awareness at this point. Now you have to be a person who has a good level of awareness. Sati matu. Sati matu. If you have never heard the Pali term that the Buddha used for someone who has sati, here there is the Pali word for that. That means you have to be a person called Sati Mato, not Sati. Sati means awareness. Sati Mato means someone who has sati.
Awareness.
Sati. Well, how do we understand sati? Because this is very important if you want to become a famous person, a person who has good reputation. So, what is sati? Sati means awareness.
Yeah.
Awareness about
What is happening?
what is happening. Awareness about what is happening. So you might notice what is happening, but then again, there's another Pali word that helps sati to function. There's another Pali word for this. We normally call it
Yoniso
sampajanya.
Manasitara or
Sampajanya. Sati means the bare attention of your awareness. Just because you know, but if you do not give your response to that particular activity, then you are not going to make that happen. So that means you should need a certain wisdom once you figured out the problem, once you figured out the situation. That is called sampajanya, sati sampajanya. That one we understand. Huh?
Yeah,
Kaya
doctor.
kaya anupasya viharati, atapi sampajanya, satima vinaya loki. Atapi sampajanya, satima vinaya loki. Vedanasu vedananupasya viharati, atapi sampajanya, satima vinaya loki, abhicca domanasa. Yeah, understand? Sati alone cannot work. Sati needs a great amount of sampajanya. Okay. Now, there are translations for sampajanya, clear comprehension, right?
Yes.
Further understanding about that particular action. So, now your purpose is to become a person who has awareness. Have you seen people who have some awareness better than other people? What is your experience working with them? If you're running a company, if you working on a project, if you are doing house chores, if you are doing some other things, if you are doing some temple works, what is your experience working with people who have a great awareness? What do you think? Have things been very easy on you? I mean, to do that particular activity?
Yes.
Have you also worked with people who are very much forgetful, who are not doing well? Maybe they do not have enough awareness to function in that particular activity. I think we find these two people, right? I'm not talking from the age point of view. So, if somebody has some awareness about what he is doing,
vomit blood.
so, yes, if somebody has some awareness, then that means that person is highly accepted by others because that person does not make an issue, really takes care of the activity. You may have heard that some people are making the idea that if this brother comes to the temple for that activity, we don't have to worry about that particular thing. Why? He will take care. If this sister will come to the temple or somewhere, we don't have to worry about. We know she's going to do it. Well, take care of it. Why? This are credits about that person's sati. Right? So we don't have to worry about. Not other people have to go after that particular activity. Somebody will take care of that particular. So that means you have already built up your reputation. Right? That means among your Dhamma community, your family, friends, you have already built up your good reputation in the way of awareness. So that is very important. All right, Sati Mato. This does not mean a very, what you call, a lofty kind of mindfulness, or I would say sati, because you will see that kind of sati in some places. For example, I would say Kayanupassana, Vedananupassana, Chittanupassana, Dhyanupassana. I don't think that here Satimato means that kind of a very lofty sati. But generally, if somebody has this awareness with Sampajanya, that person is highly accepted all the time, validated all the time. Satimato is the second thing to practice if you want to become a popular person. And then Suchikammas. That's interesting. Suchikammas. What does Suchikamma means? As you can see here, Suchikamma means, see, well,
Yo.
pure in his or her thoughts and words. Sorry about that. Yeah. Suchi means pure.
Yo. Secret.
Pure in his or her actions, words and thoughts. Suchi. How can we make our actions, words and thoughts pure? This means someone who is always trying to take care of one's thoughts, words, and actions. How to do that? How do you purify yourself?
Mindfulness, is it? Be more awareness, more mindfulness on.
Yes, sati is the supervisor, but then with sati, how do you do that? You have to
With
do a
no-
certain thing, right?
Bhante, with no bad intention.
No bad intention. No, I
So
mean
if-
how to do it in practical life. How to purify our thoughts, actions, words in your practical life, your daily life. You must have. You need a certain way to do it. Just because, let's say, nobody would like to do Pattakamma, right? I don't think anybody would like to do Pattakamma. But Pattakammas happen in people's life because they don't know how to do it. So I'm asking the way how to do it. I already told you a way some time ago how to purify.
Avoiding akusala karma, Bhante.
Huh?
Avoiding doing akusala.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely we have to avoid akusala and then do kusalas. But how to do it?
Clear awareness. Clear awareness or clear comprehension.
Do you remember that I shared with you a certain way like this?
Yoniso.
Reflect before you think. Reflect during think. Reflect after think. Reflect before you talk. Reflect during you talk. Reflect after you talk. Right? Reflect
Asava.
before you act. Reflect
Asava.
during you act. Reflect after act.
Asava.
No, I mean, these are very complicated topics. This is why I'm saying you have to find out the way how to do it. The way is that you need to reflect before, during, after. Then only you can minimize asavas, kilesas, whatever, everything. Because you have to do something. The bad stuffs are always waiting for you, right? They are always waiting for you. So when you do them, they will slowly go away from you. Right? Because normally we are always blaming the bad things, right? Isn't it? When something goes wrong, we blame the person. But we are not looking at how to avoid it. Avoidance happens. You will do kusala, more kusala. Get away from akusala only when you reflect. So how to purify your actions, words, and thoughts? By reflect. Now tell me, where did we learn that? In our Sutta discussions.
Sacred pause.
Pause.
Sacred pause?
In
Yeah,
the
sacred
retreat.
pause was a theme. Sabbasava
Basava.
Sutta. Now see, this was the sutta we just finished few weeks
Sutta.
ago.
Yeah.
The Sabbasava Sutta we said we need to reflect.
Right.
Reflection is very important. Okay? That's why in our retreats, I let people have some time at the end of the retreat. Hey, now don't do anything. Just reflect what you've been doing the whole day. Otherwise, you are doing a timetable only. Yeah. Now 9 o'clock, meditate. 9:30, walking meditation. 10, something else. It's not like that kind of a very rigid military program, you know. It is something that you do something and you reflect about what you've been doing. Reflection is very, very important. Sometimes you don't reflect, you will reflect naturally. When do people reflect naturally? Before sleep, everything comes to the mind. What did I do today? Right? So, in order for us to be happy in that moment of reflection, just before we sleep or whatever, maybe in the morning. So, we must have reflected from. So, Suchikammas, if you really want to have a good name, reputation, yes, sir. The third thing is always purify what you think, purify what you talk, purify what you act. How can we do that? Reflection, right? This is very. Sometimes we discuss this in the name of postmortem. After a big event, people do a postmortem. What was the mistake? Where things went wrong? But normally we reflect about what happened, right? That is the third. Uttana Vato means you should balance out your virya. Satimato means you should have awareness supported by clear comprehension. And then Suchikammasa means whatever you do, whatever you think, whatever you speak should be reflected before, during, after. That is how your responses will be good. Also, and then Suchikammasa, Nisammakarina. Nisammak. Nisammakarina means Nisammakarina. Before you do certain things, you might have to check whether this is a good thing to do. Probably you might have to consult other people. Some people just do what they want, right? Without consulting some others, even from wise people, right? In some places, this consulting can be a very tricky process. Huh? You have to take the permission of everybody. Huh? 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 people, right? But normally when you do something, you are trying to do it by just checking whether this is a good thing to do. Right? So that's a good thing. You discuss together, right? Right? To optimize the decision. Nisammakarina. Sometimes our personal thoughts alone will not help the solution. So we need to get the feedback of everybody. Let's say there are 10, 15 people in a discussion on there, but the person who is in charge of that particular activity does not take the feedback of other people, just decides on his or her own. Then what would happen to the product of that decision? That might not work. Because Buddha said, when you want to make a decision, it is better to consult other people sometimes, as it is necessary, so that you are going to make a good decision. Remember the Sri Lankan history. In Sri Lankan history, their first tsunami happened long time ago. Even I think before even the Venerable Mahinda went to Sri Lanka. It happened because of a decision made by the king. Actually, the king set fire onto an arahant because he did not properly investigate something. So he set fire on an arahant. The arahant did not claim properly, but he set fire. So the nature was very vexed by that. The nature was very angry about what happened to the Arahant. So the tsunami came in, the first tsunami, the tsunami that we know in the Sri Lankan history, not the 2004 one, the tsunami that we knew in our history. So anyways, that means definitely when we are making decision, if necessary, we need to consult others. Nisammakar. So if you are Nisammakar, people like you. Now, if you are a family, if you always talk to your husband, wife, discuss everything together, I think it's good because then you have a very good communication. But without telling the other party, then you are just going to do by yourself. Sometimes there will be serious repercussions that you will be encountering. Any Buddhist stories where we see the issues when someone does anything without consulting others?
No. But there are
Any
exceptions to
dark
it,
stories?
Bhante.
Anything? Sorry?
There are exceptions to it. There are certain situations you need not consult others.
Yeah, there are situations where you cannot consult others, but
But
there are also situations where we need
yes,
to get the output of other
yeah,
people too. So we have to respect them,
correct.
right? So that's how we're going to, because remember when two ministers of King Ajatasattu came to see the Buddha,
Yeah.
then the two ministers told Ajatasattu, the Buddha, Bhante, now our king is going to take over Vajji state.
Yes.
Then the Buddha said, it's not going to happen. One of the reasons was that these kings in the Vajji state, they are always getting together,
Yes.
discuss together, disperse together. Get together, talk together, disperse together. Not like in today's world. You should do only what I think. Not somebody is trying to dominate the voice of everybody. Right? The Buddha said, because they are like that, Ajatasattu will never take over the state of Vajji. Because these Vajjis are very much good having communication. Good communication is a key in their state. This is one very interesting reason. And there are many places where you see that it is very important to discuss together. Now, you can see there are a lot of stories. I mean, the Buddhist text. Anyway, Nisammakari. So the first thing is Uttanavatu, then Satimatu, Suchikammasa, purify your actions, thoughts, and words, and then Nisammakari. That means at times you need to consult others to make the decision. Sammakara. Sanyatassacha. The fifth one, if you want to become popular. Sanyatassa. That means someone who has some self-management, I would say self-restraint of his or her senses. Right? Do you like someone who is very much taking care of his or her senses? Watching their senses all the time? Have you met
Yes.
people who just talk whatever that comes through his or her mouth? Just talk.
Yes.
You feel
Yes.
sometimes scared to be with them. They just talk whatever that comes to their mind, right? And also actions and also maybe thoughts. So society, like good people, like someone who has some management about his or her life, their life, right? Now in today's world, there are certain virtues that people like. One very interesting thing is time management, isn't it? Time management is such a very good skill. Not many people are having that. Can many people work according to a certain time? They cannot keep up. Maybe they are late. Maybe they're going to mess up, right? So they are good virtues. You cannot practice time management if you don't know how your senses work. And then become an organized person. That means someone who can organize someone's thoughts. At that time, there were crimes. Now there are organized crimes. You do crimes by being organized. So people don't understand what this is all about. So But we have to organize us for moral, wholesome reasons. So become somebody who has some management about oneself, right? We call it Samyatasya. Then Dhamma Jivino. Dhamma Jivino means someone who has a life according to the Dhamma.
Righteous living.
Yeah, righteous living means that someone is having a life according to the Dhamma.
Bye-bye.
This is differently understood as Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatti. Every day when you wake up early in the morning, you are trying to do something. That means you do your meditation or whatever. At the same time, you are thinking now, how many Dhamma talks I've been listening? How many of have been incorporated in my life? So you are every morning you are thinking. That day we learn how to take care of thoughts, how to purify myself. Right? So trying to do at least one simple thing, even one small thing in your life. Otherwise, you are bringing lots of Dhamma seeds back to your house after the Dhamma discussion. But you have never planted the seed of the Dhamma.
Never water.
You might have taken down notes, you might have watched the recorded videos, but you have never planted the seed of the Dhamma in your life. That's why you have some questions. Now, see that person now every day coming to Dhamma discussion, but seems nothing is going to transform his or her life. Why? They are just some knowledge stuff that they are learning. The Dhamma seed, they are bringing Dhamma seed at the end of Dhamma talk, but they just keep it somewhere. Right? It's like you bringing some seeds to plant in your garden, but you never plant them. You just keep somewhere in your kitchen, right? But you never plant them, right? Think, how many seeds I have brought from the nursery? Never planted. Because in order to plant them, practice kicks in. Practice means application. My practice and your practice and somebody's practice could be different. You have to know in your own way how is the best way to practice. So every morning when you wake up, you are thinking, how can I make my day different in practice? So Dhamma Jivino means that you are living according to the Dhamma. So if you are not living according to the Dhamma, then how you are living according to what? You are living according to Adhamma, right? Adhamma is not good, right? Unwholesome things. Then the last thing is appamada actually. If you want to become a popular person, appamada. Appamada means
Hatefulness.
pamada or appamada. Appamada. Appamada means there are many translations that you are not delaying yourself. Heedlessness. Oh, heedfulness. Heedfulness. There are two types of delay in Buddhist teachings. One is physical delay, while the other one is spiritual delay. So how do we understand these two? Then again, time management influences. So we should be somebody who works according to time. And then spiritual delay. What does it mean? If somebody has been late in their Dhamma practice, then we call it pamada. Right? Pamada means that. So in order for you to have a good reputation, you should be someone who has the both appamada, right? You are a heedful person. You are not a late person. And the Buddha says, appamado amata padang pamado manchano. When you are heedful, you are diligent, then it is a state of mind that will make you not dying. Amata padang. You are becoming an immortal being. Pamado manchano padang. If you are late in your Dhamma practice, if you are procrastinating, if you are putting off every day, I cannot do today, I have this and that, then even though you are living, you are someone who is like a dead person. Your journey is dead. Then Appamattana miyanti ye pamattayatama. Those people who have not been late in their spiritual practice, although they are dead physically, they are still living like the Buddha. Buddha passed away how many 1,000 years ago, still living in how many people's life? And ye pamattayatamata. Although you are still living, but you are dead spiritually if you don't practice. So pamada, appamada are such important because you are going to be an appamada person. Now, going back, if you really want to create a healthy, good reputation in your circles, family circles, friend circle, work circles, Dhamma circles, then you need to practice these 7. That is why the Buddha said it is important that a layperson is wishing to have a healthy, good reputation. But this comes after when somebody makes wealth in the righteous ways. All right, any questions before we proceed to the next levels?
Bhante, is heedfulness and mindfulness the same?
No. Let me
Alright.
tell you how they are going to be different. Now,
Okay.
there is a sutta in the Anguttara Nikaya where the Buddha says that out of all the virtues, now we have thousands of virtues, main virtues and sub-virtues. Appamada is the highest virtue. It's the highest. Why appamada, heedfulness or diligence is the highest? Because only when you are heedful, you can practice any other good virtue. Isn't it? Now, why do you think you have to be practicing sati? Why do you want to practice sila? Why do you want to practice this and that? Because you think to yourself, I should not delay in my spiritual life. Then the Buddha gives an example, a simile to understand this. It is like the footprints of animals in the forest. Appamada is the footprint that is equal to an elephant. The elephant footprint is the largest footprint in the forest, in which all the other footprints of other animals can be fitting. Is there another animal whose footprint is larger than the elephant?
Bigfoot.
The Buddha says there is no other animal's footprint that is larger than an elephant. So all the other animals' footprints can be included in this large elephant footprint, right? Hattipada, we call it.
Hattipada.
Hattipada means the elephant's footprint. In the same way, appamada is like the elephant footprint. It is the largest virtue. When you have that largest virtue, the other small virtues are arising naturally. That, oh, maybe you can practice them easily. But if you don't have appamada, you are trying to practice other virtues, you might not grow in those virtues. I think this is something happening to many people. They don't have appamada. They just cherry pick. Today I practice a little bit of sati, tomorrow a little bit of sila, day after tomorrow go to the temple, do something, a little bit of that. They kind of like cherry pick couple things, and then they are not practicing that important. They are not practicing within the appamada. So appamada is the highest practice. Only when you practice appamada, the rest of the all the virtues are naturally trying to swell out of their limits. So I would say this is your moral compass. Your moral compass, your moral boundary is appamada. So within that boundary, you can play. You play with other small virtues. So appamada is the largest virtue. Do you understand, right? So then you will see all the other virtues come under appamada, not even sati.
Bhante, how come appamada is not included in one of the parami?
Appamada is not?
Not included in one of the parami.
No, because of appamada, somebody is going to practice parami.
Okay.
Without appamada, who is going to make the move? the making the move comes from Appama.
Okay.
Now, like bodhisattvas, right? Why bodhisattvas are delaying? Like they can become enlightened people. No, I'm not going to be an arahant. Why? I want to help many people, and only I'm going to become a Buddha. Can many people think like this? Or many people are thinking, no, I give some dana, a couple of things. I want to become an arahant. I don't want to think about other people. It's me, myself. So it's because of that, what you call, very important, deepened wish that is happening in high-minded people with appamada, then they are moving on to paramitas, perfections for becoming a Sammasambuddha, perfections for becoming a Pacceka Buddha, and then arahant.
So Bhante, the
So
last word.
appamada is implied in our practice. You might not see one by one, it's implied because it's the largest practice.
So
Yeah,
Bhante,
but sorry. No wonder the Buddha's last words are, being heedful and practice with diligence. These are his last words.
Yeah, that's why the Buddha said
He
so. Buddha means
reminded
that if people
strong-
don't have the platform of appamada, if people don't set their boundaries with appamada, they will never practice the rest of the small things. Compassion, wisdom, so on and so forth. How did he say? Vaya dhamma sankhara appamadena sampadeta.
yeah.
Because all sankhara formations are subject to changes. So strive on with diligence, strive on with appamada. So when he says strive on with appamada means, so where is sati, where is samadhi, where is bhavana, where is panya, where is karuna? They all come under, they all swell out of appamada. They are inside appamada.
So
They are inside heedfulness.
So Bhante, wouldn't you agree that the last words of the Buddha should be translated as strive on with heedfulness rather than strive on with diligence?
Yeah, these are English translation. I would better go for Pali word appamada. There
Yeah,
are many English
because
translations. So you can say,
diligence in English is more connected to viriya, hardworking, diligence. Yeah. So it does not give the actual meaning of appamada. Heedfulness is a better word.
sometimes the better words are the Pali words.
Yeah.
They resonate the true meaning.
But the
Right.
problem is many people do not understand Pali, Bhante.
That's why we have to use some English, but as we teach them, during that time, we will tell them this might not be a good translation.
Okay.
Right? So because we need some English, because otherwise we cannot teach, because people
Yeah.
come from English backgrounds. But now I'm teaching you because I know you have been studying with me, so I can easily tell you,
Yes.
but not somebody who has no knowledge of it is, right? So
Thank you,
so
Bhante.
there are, Pali words could be better. We understand. Any other questions? Let me proceed. Now, why did we study these 7 things? Because then you can think about why you don't have a good reputation in your community, in your friend circle, in your family circle, because you haven't had enough of these 7. No enough virya. Maybe you have virya, but you don't balance them out. You have no sati, enough sati. Your actions, thoughts, and words are not pure enough. Right?
Bhante, the viriya as a faculty, we also need to balance with samadhi, right?
Virya as a
Viriya has to balance with samadhi.
virya itself needs to be balanced out, because
With
lack of
samadhi,
virya causes tina and mitta. More virya will create restlessness, uddhacca. These are big issues for meditation people,
Yes.
Big issues. Not many people talk about it. They say just meditate. They are struggling with their energy all the time. Oh, I cannot meditate. Something happening, because the teachers don't tell them there are issues with virya itself. right? And when people come to them, my meditation doesn't go well. I cannot focus. Say, maybe you haven't practiced the right object. But the problem is the way how they practice virya, not about the object. So if somebody, now the Buddha says in the Pattakamma Sutta, the second wish that every layperson makes is, may the reputation come to me, good reputation come to me about myself, my family, and relatives. Now, when we talk about family, especially about the good reputation, it's a very tricky thing because probably you might not be able to have the like-minded people in your family, right? There are different types of people in our families, right? Maybe. So you don't have to worry about it, but at least you are trying to make yourself onto the path, engaging in the right things over here.
Dharma family,
Yes,
Kayana Mita.
yes. Others, how did you understand today's discussion? The second wish?
Bhante, the reputation does it include integrity? One's integrity?
I think integrity is also a part of these seven things
Yeah.
in making good reputation. You see, Uttana, Vato, Satimato. Actually, when you practice these seven, that means you are somebody who has some integrity.
Yes.
Because those who don't have integrity change all the time, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
So you are today good, but tomorrow you are not good. Like you have a mental sickness, right? Like
Yes.
bipolar or something. You are good today, but tomorrow you are not good. Something wrong with you. So that means integrity matters a lot. Now we have a Pali word for that integrity. What is the Pali word for integrity? No excuse for our people, huh? Because you've been studying that word before. Metta Sutta, Sakko Uju
Sakko.
Suju. Suju. Suju means is
Suju.
moral uprightness, which means an integrity about your spiritual life. Right? That is, it matters to us actually. The flip side of expecting reputation could be that you might create some lobha in a way. So you have to be careful because lay people need a reputation. But if you are too much on that, you're always thinking, I want to be a popular person. I want to get the credit. After any activity, I should be the one who should say the name of. At that point, you are bringing this normal reputation to a very unwholesome area.
Yeah.
Right? That is not a good thing. Especially when you are handling spiritual things. Huh? Right? You have to be very careful about it. Because in one sutta, the Buddha says, profits, gains, reputations for spiritual life, they are very dangerous impediments to the spiritual life. Have you seen the people who are always being vocal that my name was not mentioned in the vote of thanks? I am the one who did everything, but my name was not in the vote of thanks. So I'm not gonna commit to this place again anymore. Right? They were hurt, probably. Actually, it is good that their names were mentioned, but because their names were not mentioned, they should not take them as very much personal. Because we are doing everything to Buddha Sasana, right?
Yes.
We are doing everything for this Buddha Sasana. So we don't need to struggle in these reputations. But if there are people who are purposely trying to not to highlight this name, not to thank them, it is a different issue. while we understand we need to have a good reputation, we should not have greed toward reputation. Is it possible? Is it possible to have a reputation without having greed on that?
Minimize.
I don't think it's minimized. It's this way. Do you remember the last stanza of the Metta Sutta? Can anybody recite the last stanza of the Metta Sutta? Karaniya Metta Sutta.
Never to be born in a womb again.
Ah. Dittincha anupagam silava
Yeah.
dasanena
Dasana sampano.
kamesu vinaya
Sumindeya.
nahi jatu dabbaseya
Upseya.
punareti.
Yeah.
Many people don't understand the purpose of their metta, friendliness. Now here, the Buddha clearly mentions the purpose of the metta. What is the purpose of metta?
Not falling.
Dittincha anupagam. Never ever come to dittis. Because ditti is a ticket of deserts, right? A lot of these views are really killing so many people. Then, dasanena sampanna. Have the sotapanna understanding one day. Then, kamesu, this is important. Kamesu vinaya geda. In terms of the karma, never bring greed onto your karma. Karmas are good, but when you bring greed onto your karma, then there is a problem. So, now when I say reputation, reputation is good because we need to have some self-esteem, isn't it? Yes, we need to have a certain self-esteem, but we should not bring greed onto that. If you bring greed onto that, then you are doing everything just to get something out of it. Even you do a meditation, you might say people, today I meditated for 30 minutes. What a good person am I? I listened to a Dhamma talk for 2 hours today. What does time matter to us? It doesn't matter. If you are not planning to practice any of these 2-hour Dhamma talk, what price of that Dhamma talk? Right? So if you don't understand the greed out of all these good things, then whatever the good thing you are doing, you are bringing greed onto it. Even karmas, even whatever reputation. So reputation is good, but never bring greed onto them. The Buddha said, karmas are okay, but never bring greed onto your karma. Love your people, love your husband, love your wife, love your children, but never bring greed onto your life. Once you brought the greed onto your love care, then you are going to control people, you are going to manipulate, and you are yourself making a very disturbing person, right? Everything is going to be problematic at that time. So, rather than minimizing, I would say, do not bring greed onto your reputation. It's just reputation because you need some validation from people.
Bhante, may we request you to share your Dhamma talk on Karaniya Metta Sutta?
Our previous discussion, yeah, we have, we should have it on the YouTube channel, I think, the Vihara's YouTube channel.
Karaniya Metta Sutta, explanation of the verses.
Yes. I
Yes.
think we have done it long time ago, probably, I think in 2023, early 2023, or maybe the end of 2022. Yes.
I think it's timely we look at it again.
Yes, yes.
Then again.
That means whenever you bring lobha onto greed onto anything, you are done with that process. You are done with that Dhamma path. It's a big issue. Right? So, fame.
Bhante, can
Any
I
other
ask?
questions?
Bhante, can I ask a clarification on reflection and contemplation?
Mhm.
Where is
Well, I
the
mean,
difference?
more to an English, translation issue. Yeah. Reflection and contemplation. Mhm.
Is the same? No, different.
Well, I would say contemplation is more likely anusati. Anusati, that you are going to think about something that maybe you are going to think about something according to something. Now, Buddha Anusati, you are going to think about the Buddha, contemplate. You are going to think about Marana Anusati. Our brother T.C. Lim is always showing us Marana Satya. When your name comes to my Marana Sati slide, background slide is always with you, behind you, right? So we are going to think about Marana Sati as such. But reflection means that you are going to reflect your actions, words, and deeds. They are more personal actually. The contents are more personal. But contemplations could be more about an object. Yeah, like the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, Deva, Marana, Sangha, Sila. Yeah, like that.
Okay. Thank you, Bhante.
I mean, looking at the Pali context.
Mm.
From an English point of view, somebody might say, no, these could be some similar. But in Pali context, they carry two ideas.
Some they even translate bhavana as reflection and contemplation, Bhante.
Bhavana?
Yeah. Some books they translate bhavana as contemplation or even reflection.
Bad translations. We have to understand them.
And then we got all mixed up because of the English
All
words.
mixed up.
So many.
Yeah, sometimes all have been a salad now because we have to find out the vegetables, fruits differently. Yes, especially translations. They just write it so they mix it up. So we have to find out how to find out. Find out the Pali meaning first, Pali context first. Because the issue is that when a lot of people translate Pali text, they have not correctly read the source material. This is the biggest issue. Because how to read? They don't know Pali. They just take the surface meaning.
And Bhante, most of the translators, Bhante, most of the translators are also Western translators.
Yes,
and
they don't have the Pali background.
Pali background.
Yes.
So not that they haven't read, they don't understand fully what they translate. So it's, they use maybe a bit more like Christian concepts.
Definitely.
Put it in,
Yes. Mostly. Now, actually, 17th, 18th century translators are more biblical, more Christian, Protestant translators.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not blaming anybody because they did something what they can do. But now the problem is, when you're going to depend on them, you will never understand the true Dhamma. That is the problem. Giving them some credit.
Right.
So
Like
that is the issue.
Yeah, like the Rice Davids and his wife, both were actually children of a pastor. And they wanted to go to Sri Lanka to learn the Pali language so that they can discredit Buddhism. But in the end, they found it so good. They converted.
No, actually, how the translations, how the first English translations were formed in those 17th, 18th centuries were that British British officials came to mostly to Sri Lanka at that time, British Ceylon, and then they went to certain Buddhist temples. So the monks at that time did not speak English at all. So they managed to say different things. They managed to talk to these people in their own ways. So this is the way how they understood from them.
Yes.
Right. So the words and how they translated. But now we have a more interesting, capacities where we can learn more, especially we know Pali context. That's why we are trying to understand them separately.
Well, because many of the German scholars are great Pali translators, Bhante. Yeah, and I think we are grateful to them because without them, we will not have Romanized Pali.
Yes.
Yeah, and Romanized Pali has actually propagated Pali throughout the world. See in the English-speaking world. I mean, just imagine if there's no Romanized Pali, we also cannot learn Pali.
Yeah, true. Now a simple example is the translation of 5 precepts.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Panati Pata Veramani Sikha Padan Samadhiya.
Yeah.
Now, how the Sikkhapada part was translated? Training rule. Now, people are coming to Buddhism not to expect rules, but to expect training rule. The Sikkha means rule, training. Sikkha means training. I'm going to take this training. And who added the rule here?
Okay.
Somebody else added this rule, training rule, rules. This is one very small example.
Yeah.
Like the Ten
Because
Commandments.
these are self-imposed training. When you take 5 precepts, you are not, I don't think anybody is going to take them as rules. But how they are taking is they are taking them as self-imposed disciplinary actions. Disciplinary things, not as rules.
Mm.
There are rules in a company, there are rules in other settings, but not in those
Like
disciplines.
the commandments.
Yes. Anyways, any questions about today's topic, reputation? Tell me, are you somebody who is expecting reputation in your life?
No.
Not
In
really.
Malaysia, you can hardly get any chance of being reputable or appreciated. So we just forget about reputation. Building a character is better than trying to find
It's not the reputation that the society is talking about. That is bad, actually. Yeah, we of course we don't like that. I mean, all of them have a certain mentality that we want to be validated by others. I think it's an honest wish. That is what the Buddha accepted over here. It's honest wish which goes in the context of validation.
Yes.
I mean, your parents validate you, others validate you. How do they validate you if they don't have a certain what you call backup in your life? So that is so people will validate you if you have Uttana, if you have Sati, if you have those 7, making you somebody who is a valuable person to others. Right? This is what we understand by reputation, not something that in today's world people expect. I want to become a popular person. I want everybody to know me. I should have a fan base. That is something different. Yes, Neha, you have a question?
Yes, Bhante.
Yes.
My question is not direct related to the today topic, but a general question. When will be the Dhamma Sanggayana in the world? Because I think near future there should be a Sanggayana or something, this clearance of all these things. Thank you.
Now, everybody understand what is a Dhamma Sanggayana? What is a Dhamma Sanggayana?
Council. Buddhist council.
So, in the early times, Dhamma Sanggayana was taken place to protect the true Dhamma.
Yes.
I mean, the first couple of Sanghayanas. After that, the purpose of Sanggayana took a change to remove the bad Sangha, something like that. Third Sanggayana. So there were different motives of the Sanggayana. Now the present Sangha in Sri Lanka, Burma, and Myanmar, these are the main Theravada countries, they have to understand what would be our objective of holding a Sanggayana. Because the purpose has to be clarified first, right? Are we going to, properly understand the true Dhamma, or are we going to do a substantial change in the Sangha community? Are we going to make future perspectives? Right? So I think if such discussions are going to be really okay, then they can think about it. But I don't think at the moment they are ready for a council, because now sadly saying that the politics have come into play in these areas, unfortunately, because yes. So I don't know, how things are going to go. All right, let's take another question, final question about today's session.
Bhante, coming back to reputation, having a reputation as a good practicing Buddhist, would also encourage others to walk the path.
Yeah, the healthy reputation, not
Yeah.
expecting that I have to be a popular person.
Yeah.
So when you have those things, Uttanavatu, Satimatu, Suchikamma,
Yes.
Sammakari, Sanyatasa Dhammajivi, then definitely you feel that you are validated by
Yeah.
others and you feel good about you. Do we
Yeah.
have to feel good about us?
Yes.
Yes. How
Yes.
does it happen? Does it happen naturally?
Yeah.
Can we become good people naturally?
No.
Can we become validated naturally? Now
No.
there are quotes going on internet. You don't think about others. Whatever other people talk about you, don't consider them. You do whatever you want. This is a modern idea. But in Buddhism, we cannot do so because we understand the ideas of wise people matter.
Yes.
Wise people, right? So I think a healthy level of reputation is necessary, not in the way of how people think about reputation in today's world. Like, I want to become a popular person, I want to have a fan base, so and so. Here, reputation means that validations, somebody who has a good validation from Dhamma friends, Kalyana Mithras,
Yes.
and finally oneself. This is very important for you not to be bored in your Dhamma practice.
Yeah.
You can't be bored. So you have to feel that you are energetic, you are happy in your Dhamma practice, right? You have to be happy in your Dhamma practice. So one thing is healthy reputation. So this is why the Buddha said that it is important to have a good reputation that not only comes to oneself but also to family people and then the mentors, teachers. All right.
Thank you,
So
Bhante.
time has come up to transfer good karmas. And for next Friday, what we are going to do is we are going to the third wish. What is it? The third wish is about longevity. This is a very interesting vision. Longevity. See here, Digayukam Jivan. Okay. Who would like to die earlier? Okay. Everybody would like to live longer, right?
Die peacefully, Bhante.
Die peacefully,
Yeah.
but that peace, a lot of people expect after a certain good time of living, right?
Yes.
Right. So this is the third wish. So this wish arises when someone has wealth, when someone has reputation. This good wish will arise at that point. All right. So we'll study that next week. Now we're going to transfer the good karmas. Okay. May all the good karmas which we've been accumulated today by learning, understanding about the second wish, the lay people under the Pattakamma Sutta, be transferred to all the departed ones, passed away in the name of all of us. May our departed relatives be well and happy. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idam me nyati nang hu sukita huntu nyatayo. Idam me nyati nang hu sukita huntu nyatayo. Idam me nyati nang hu sukita huntu nyatayo. May Deva, Naga, Mahitika be well and happy. May they share all these good karmas. May they protect and bless all of you. In particular, in this new year. Today is the first discussion, Sutta discussion in the new year. And we will be hoping that all the Deva, Naga, Mahitika take care of all of you, your family members, and everybody for good health, quality of life, prosperity, safety, and in particular for your Dhamma. May your Dhamma journey become a very smooth, continuous, fluid, constant, consistent Dhamma journey, not a dry, boring one, because you need a lot of things to consider. May Deva Naga Mahitika always bless you for that. Finally, may Deva Naga Mahitika also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu. Ittavata cha ammihi sambatam punya sampradam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata cha ammihi sambatam punya sampradam sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata cha ammihi sambatam punya sampradam Sabbe sattha anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya akasattha ca bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu kasasana akasattha ca bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desana akasattha ca bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mang paranti chirang rakkhantu tvang sadati. Also, we are usually making a wish at the end of Sutta discussions. May we be in the company of the Kalyana Mitras even during 2024. This might be another new year, but our life is samsara till we attain Nibbana. May we be in the company of Kalyana Mitras and not with the company of the Papa Mitras. Thinking thus, we're going to make the wish. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamu satang samagamu yavanibbana patya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been accumulating today in the first Sutta discussion of this new year be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana Siddhissa Nityam Vaddha Prachayino Chattaru Dhamma Vaddhanti Ayuvanno Sukhang Balang Ayurarogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Mevacha Ato Nibbana Sampatti Iminate Saminujatu Sadhu Sadhu. Right? So the discussion for today is over right now. Wishing you a good night and seeing you next Friday at the same time.
Good night,
Thank you,
Bhante.
thank you, Bhante. Thank you, Bhante. See you.
Thank you, Bhante.
See you.
Good night.
Good night.
Everyone.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu,
Thank you.
sadhu.